Hey guys, welcome to another commentary done by Diggity. This is After Hours Gaming League Game 2 between Microsoft and Dropbox. Microsoft taking Game 1, which is going to put a lot of pressure on Sbartel, aka sbartel, 12 o'clock location, as the blue protoss. This is going to be cross-map positions on Metalopolis. Very macro-based map. He's going to be going up against DJD, the field player for Microsoft, aka Xuan Li. Hopefully pronounced that properly. As the red teraan. And wow, all I have to say is Team Microsoft looking very strong to start. I do know that Team Dropbox wants something to shove in BitTorrents, their kind of pseudo company rivals' faces, so they can say, yeah, we beat Microsoft. Not only did we participate, we took down the top team in the league. So this is for pride. And do not underestimate grit, particularly when it comes to guys who program a lot. They are the grittiest guys out there. DJD putting that, I love that supply depot placement. Going to provide some vision along that top rim. Might it comes out a little bit later, but it provides additional support for spotting incoming scouts, things along those lines. I really like that. Barracks being placed towards that corner as well. Let's see if he actually goes with a gasless opening or if he's going to take gas longer in this match. We do have a gateway being produced for a pseudo front door seal here for sbartel. Or sbartel, I'll just stick it that way. Chrono boasting out some probes in the meantime. 6 o'clock location, we do have the refinery being taken for DJD, so it looks like he is going to open up with less, not, well, it's still going to be an economic build, but not the gasless opening with teraan that we've seen so often recently. A little bit of a gas steal by Bartle in the meantime, and he's going to get plenty of scouting information in the meantime, and it looks like it is going to be 3 SCVs in gas. See if he decides to push tech. It's been very popular to go Hellions recently, especially with the recent shift in basically the teraan metagame across the board. Hellions are so strong. Orbital command now being upgraded. Bartle in the meantime does have 1 gas up, 3 probes inside. He's getting his cybernetics core out in a very interesting wall off on this front corner. He needs to be a little bit careful building like this. Fortunately, it's cross positions. But if DJD sees this and feels like, you know what, I'm going to apply some early Marauder pressure, which he might here actually. Tech Lab out in the ground. Maybe, hopefully we'll see some Marauders here. Marauders plus concussive shells can really abuse this front door. There's the concussive shells. There's the Marauder in production. Oh, this could be really dangerous. Even at cross positions. sbartel's going to have his work cut out for him. Usually you want to have all of this tech staggered out a little bit. Give yourself some room for the Stalkers to deal damage over that high ground. DJD scouting everything in the meantime. 1 Zealot out. A Stalker being produced as well. And also, that's not an airtight front door. Some tech being hit. Oh my goodness. Hidden from Bartle. Wants to maybe put down a Twilight Council, something along those lines. In the meantime, he's indicating a little bit more of a safe build, perhaps, with that Assimilator. He does have Chrono Boost save. But the thing is, when you're talking about this league and the players in here, you never know with that Chrono Boost saving. You might think, okay, well, maybe he just forgot Chrono Boost. Maybe that's what it comes down to. So it makes it even, attacks like this, even sneakier. And he's sneaking a Stargate. So very likely Proxy Void Rays. Unfortunately, he's going to be going up against Marauder, Marine, maybe even Bunker on the low ground. And he needs to be producing, well, first of all, more gateways, but additional troops. And, oh, it's going to be a Zealot to follow this up. He's trying to save gas for this Void Ray. And on top of it, wow, hacks. DJD scouting the expansion. He's also following it up with the Reaper to give high ground spotting. So he knows this attack is going to be extremely powerful. A little bit of micromanagement, and he can get this accomplished. So Marauders pressing up, SEV taking some of that damage, just moving right in. That Zealot not going to last very long on the front. And wow, this game might be over before it even started. Void Ray starting to field its way out. And I actually like the Reaper follow-up because the Reaper can just come right here, maybe take out that pylon and stop that attack cold. Meantime, the Marauder doing a lot of damage. Actually, Reaper just coming straight here. Warping up, it's going to be taken out very swiftly. Nice defense by Bartle. He still has to worry about these Marauders. Well, this Marauder, these 2 Marauders, and this Marine. Things not over yet, though, because that Void Ray is going to see that light of day. And the Marines, in the meantime, going to get killed on the front door, and Bartle showing some nice defense. Another Zealot being produced. Probes coming off the line. Going to be able to dispatch that Marauder. And yes, he lost some economy, but really wasn't hurt all that badly. And now the Void Ray moving to that bottom right-hand corner. No anti-air defense, despite this being scouted by DJD. A couple Marines starting to hike out, but that Void Ray, if it micros properly, can get a lot accomplished. See if he is going to dive in. It's just going to eat some damage. Working on one Marine is going to be able to chew through that very quickly. Now he's actually fully charged up. DJD trying to run. Needs to be careful once this thing is fully charged. Try to get those Marines out of there. The Marine's just pecking away at this. Second Void Ray is going to join this first Void Ray. Oh no! It's going to try to retreat down to 16 health. And all sorts of Marines being pumped out here. Nice follow-up by DJD just to get a ton of barracks, pumping a ton of Marines. He does have that engineering bay out. And a great defense to follow this up. What this does do, though, is this gives Bartle some map control. Maybe he can take an expansion in the meantime. Looks like Void Ray's going to take down supply depots, things along the perimeter as they can. So, nice defense by both players thus far. I gotta say, I'm very shocked that Bartle did in fact get completely crushed. Again, cross positions perhaps playing a large role there. Now, well micro, these Void Rays can pick through these Marines very easily if they charge up on that Menk statue, dive in, back and forth. They even pick away at the supply depot at the front door. Bartle can still get a lot of use out of this. Looks like he's already getting that Nexus up and running. The question is the next stage, the follow-up game, because DJD inevitably going to be producing a lot of Marines. Actually, I love Void Ray opening for that particular reason, because if you shift tech just well enough, get some Zealots underneath, you can really do a lot of damage with some tech fall. And oh man, chewing through that SCV line, Marines moving in, but it looks like already handful of kills. I think that was 3-4 SCVs killed there on the front door. Marine's going to start flooding out. Bartle is not microed his Void Rays, so he's most likely going to end up losing both of them. Unfortunate turn of events. If he had just continued fleeing them, he would have been able to cycle them all the way back around. Nice heads-up maneuver there by DJD. It looks like one of them is still going to be able to flee, though. And I like what DJD did in the meantime. He also got a second orbital command in his interior ring, so he can continue to drop mules, push that economy, and now he's going to wander out, take that natural expansion. Void Ray going to try to push up and deny it, but that's just going to leave it vulnerable to those Marines, which are almost immediately probably going to cycle down and take it out. Actually, is he going to make a run for it? No, he's going to dive into that SCV line. Another Void Ray joining the fray here, but that Void Ray is going to get chased off almost instantaneously. That is going to allow this Void Ray that's sitting at the natural expansion to continue to harass, maybe even escape. Stim pack up. Oh, never mind. Those Marines just feel like they're moving fast for me. As soon as Stim pack is up, these Void Rays are not going to be long for life, especially once they have that combat shield support upgrade. A Marauder moving out here. Might be able to take out that pylon, but no, it doesn't look like it's going to end up happening. Void Ray easily going to be able to kill it. Natural expansion up for Bartle, but he doesn't have it saturated. That's really going to hurt him. Twilight Council also being produced. Does have some additional warp gates out here. Wow, he's going very gateway heavy. So wants to follow this up with a heavy infantry attack. Unfortunately, I feel like with the 20 Marines that are on the ground, DJD, as soon as he shifts into Marauder production, he's going to be really in a strong position to do all sorts of havoc with just a raw troop count. Bartle moving his Void Rays back to the middle of the map, needs to be joined by some troops, needs to get that troop count up very rapidly. I still feel like he might be able to press through this with a Void Ray Zealot Stalker combination attack on this front door. Because keep in mind, yes, there is concussive shell upgrade, yes, there is combat shield and stim upgrade on these Marines, but there are no Marauders currently out in the field for DJD. It looks like those Void Rays still pecking away where they can, trying to distract DJD as best as possible. Factory on the low ground. Looks like DJD also tacking on some additional gas here and there. Well fought match on his part. He's got a significant supply lead, most of that in harvesters. 41 to 37 in that regard. Warp gates coming in. We also have a Templar Archives. Wow, Psystorm really could melt through a lot of these Marines rapidly. Oh, Void Ray's being caught in open field! Oh, one of them down. Is the second one get it taken out? A well-timed stim here could easily take out this Void Ray. Actually, not even needed. Zealot leg charge, though. Stim pack, and it looks like 2 High Templar being produced. The High Templar working on some Psionic Storm upgrades. Currently, they're just kind of soft little... Well, they're just soft is what it comes down to. Zealot leg charge, though, and those Marines can quickly get chewed through. So S. Bartle not out of the woods, or sorry, not out of this match yet. DJD not out of the woods is what I was looking for there. Still lots of opportunities. This Void Ray producing den here of a Stargate is most certainly going to get taken out. But if S. Bartle moves out with these Zealots, particularly with the leg charge and that Psystorm warping in, against very few, well, a handful of Marauders here and there, the composition might favor him. He still might be able to get something accomplished, but he needs to get a move on before the medevacs are out in the field and while he still has an opportunity. Looks like he's going to move in to try to crush this army across the 9 o'clock while those Marines are pinned in. Should be able to kill those Marines, but really he should be attacking this natural expansion while those Marines are out of position. Another base being taken from DJD. Looks like the Zealots wandering in. A little bit in a Congo line, which isn't going to help them out any. Still, the Marines getting killed very, very rapidly. High Templar swinging through a little, wow, very slowly. And kind of tagging along. DJD has another sizable army now hanging out at this natural expansion. sbartel really needs to attack this. It feels like he's significantly economically behind. That plus the mules, yeah, in a bad position. He's not in a position where he can, if he sits on this, if there's a swing where he can take his third, so probably his best bet just to dive into this. Or sit back, shell up, and try to play for a long game, but currently, looks like the Zealots moving forward. He does have High Templars trailing. A single scouting Marine going to wander up. Is going to see the Zealot coming to the forward position, but now we have that engagement. Zealots trying to chase down those Marauders, but the Marauders with that concussive shell with the stim pack, not able to get a lot accomplished. There's some nice Psy Storm. Oh my goodness. But the Zealots eating some of it as well. Still, the Marauders, that's going to give them something twice to think about. Something to think twice about? There we go. Blink Stalkers, actually. Blink being upgraded, but I don't think there's even a Stalker out in the field. Nice trailing Psy Storms, though. Keeping DJD off the pursuit. Unfortunately, Bartle, okay, he's getting his third, but third already up for DJD. And that's probably going to be an orbital command, the way things are going. DJD has to feel comfortable in his map positioning at this stage, seeing a lot of Zealots out there, knowing that he has Marauders underneath, knowing that he has some medevacs to heal them up and do that consistent kiting action. Actually, might even be able to sneak a drop along the corner, and it looks like he is in fact attempting to do just that. 4 Marauders moving forward. Bartle needs to, oh man, he's only got 100 minerals in the bank, so he's going to have a Zealot, maybe, to try to fend this off. He's going to have to bring that army back to bear. Instead, he's going to commit them to an attack again. A little bit of Congo line action, which is going to be difficult, and going headlong into a bunker. Zealots running into each other. Nice Psy Storms, though. Good Psy Storms. Those Marauders still able to just work their way back. And it looks like the Zealots, yes, doing a lot of damage here, but the High Templar being taken out. The Zealots being cleaned up shortly thereafter. Bartle has no standing army. Trying to warp in units to deal with these Zealots. See if DJD is going to be able to scoop up those Marauders to keep them in line. Actually, a nice little engagement point right there where the Zealots were boxed out. Okay, able to scoop them out and pull out. Planetary Fortress at the third is up and running for him. He's at 53. Never mind, Bartle's been up on the Harvester count. I've been misreading that. Doing a nice job of macro. I apologize to Bartle. Now his problem is just holding back and surviving the storm. He has a lot of infrastructure to do so, and he's got a large bank to work with as well. DGD starting to move out. He does have a raw supply count lead, and if you look at just the troop counts, 5 High Templar versus 24 Marauders, 16 Marines, with 11 Zealots in between the Psy Storm wall and him, basically. So those Zealots going to have to do a lot of work to keep those High Templar alive. Some more warping in. These medevacs need to be very careful moving to that forward. That feedback can just absolutely crush them. Although, Psy Storm, you might want to save a lot of that for Psy Storm. Bartle looks like he might be caught completely out of position here. His third very exposed. DGD walking in, comsatting, not seeing any trailing army. Walking right up into this. Wow, he's going to be able to stim back and just cruise straight through that Nexus. Turning into a great match. The Zealots trying to run forward. Nexus just falls. Great timing from DJD on that pullback. Bartle not able to engage, rebuilding that Nexus, now falling economically behind. DJD cycling around, positioning his army in the middle of the map. Still very, very healthy, still very, very mobile, still a huge threat. He also has this medevac at the 3 o'clock location, keep in mind. He can sneak that back in, maybe pick off a Templar Archives, maybe a robotics facility. Something. Keep in mind, with all of this infantry tech, Bartle has not produced a single Colossi, which helps a lot against this composition. Medevac's just sailing over those Zealots in the meantime. All sorts of gateways there for Bartle, but he does not have a large economy to work with. And Marauders dropping right into the middle of it. Zealots and High Templar fully committing, and DJD with a brilliant 2-pronged attack. Distraction attack at the main, cycling in. He's going to be able to take out this base once again. Great 2-prong attack. Amazing tactician. Also taking out the Templar Archives. And I think that is going to be it for Bartle. Oh my goodness. And also with all of these gateways actually working against him with his Zealot composition. Finally able to surround, take the medevacs out. But it is, the damage is already done. He's lost his third base. Third base is up and running for DJD. He's approaching, not quite twice, but quite a large supply lead for DJD. And keep in mind, a large chunk of that is in nothing but Marauders. However, Bartle does have a ton of High Templar, and he's got a ton of energy in all of those High Templars. So just an annihilating storm field could bring him back in this match. He's going to have to micro it absolutely perfectly, though. And those medevacs, which are still out in the field, are not going to make it any easier. DJD actually might get caught out of position here. Going to be able to kill this probe. Looks like that 3 o'clock base being taken. In the meantime, another drop of Marauders. Stalkers is kind of sitting incompetently nearby. But an attack in the bottom right-hand corner. Zealot trying to engage tons of Marauders and Marines there to just completely crush that attack. Now he's out of position to deal with the army bearing down on his natural expansion. This Nexus is gone. And I think that is it for Bartle. Still has these Marauders chewing away at the interior gateway that's leaving that Twilight Council very exposed. Bartle trying to bring his entire army back to his main just to stay alive at this stage. And you can see a lot of Marines and Marauders chasing after these lagging High Templar. They're dropping Psystorm as they go, though. They need to empty actually as much Psystorm as they can. Doing a nice job there at least. Big, wow, just a big Psystorm fest here at the ramp, though. Psystorm going off everywhere, but the High Templar getting cleaned up. And that is going to be it. Bartle down to 25 supply and plummeting. DJD gonna take the match. Well played. That was a great game, actually. Well positioned, well played by both guys. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Gonna move on to Game 3. Microsoft up 2-0 over Dropbox.